Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
God's got his hand in this, and I truly believe that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Hi, Jay.
Hey, Holmes.
How are you, my friend?
Not bad. You?
I'm doing all right, I suppose. We had a power outage last night. I was so fucking pissed.
It's happening more and more here.
Dude, does it seem like that? Because that's what I said almost to them. I was like, it was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I had to whiz at like 2:30 in the morning. And I was like, get up.
Clocks are blinking.
No, I didn't notice that. I go to turn on the light. I'm like,
nothing, huh?
well, the bulb must be burned out. That stinks. And then I sauntered into the bathroom. Well, the bulb in here must be burned out, too. That stinks.
Isn't that remarkable?
Wow, that's crazy. I go out in the hallway. Man, the bulb out here must be... And then I was like, oh, I bet the power's out. Yep, that's got to be it. It'd be really weird to have three bulbs all blow out at the same time.
I'll once again remember the wise words of one Stephen Gabara in stating that this place is going to be uninhabitable over under 5 years.
No. Do not say that, sir. Do not say that. And so then I was like, I go downstairs and I'm like, I'll take a whiz down here, I suppose. I realized my phone's hardly got any life left.
Oh, no.
Like I didn't properly charge it when I actually had power. Remember the days, before when I didn't have water? And then I was dealing with, I'm dealing with a situation where I don't have power either. And I remember the good old days when I had power and I could just plug this thing into my phone and it would charge up. But now I don't have that ability, and my phone's dying, and so I'm using the flashlight, and I'm lighting candles. I'm like, what am I doing? Go back to bed, you idiot. It's 2:30 in the morning. And then I'm like, well, I have to have something on in the background, or I can't sleep. I need a TV or something. Something needs to be glowing prominently in the background. And I didn't have that. And so I was like...
Dude, I don't know how I could sleep in pure dark, in pure
guys,
no power.
man.
I know, isn't that terrible?
I need sound. It doesn't have to be TV. It can be, for me, it can be talk radio or something, but
Still
I
doing
cannot...
the Simpsons DVDs?
Well, if I'm in my room, if I actually go to my room, I'll listen to talk radio, just sports radio. But I
pull
need
back the Dukes
sound.
of Hazzard comforter.
I need...
Get into that little twin bed.
It would have been it would have been
race car
Ninja
bed.
Turtles. It would not have been...
His feet are hanging off the end of this little thing.
But no, I do need sound, though. I cannot sleep in just nothing.
Well, my first thought is, I always assume it's something I did. Like, the water goes out. Remember those days when I didn't have running water in the house?
I do. That was hard.
Yeah. My first thought is, oh, fuck. I didn't pay a water bill, I guess. How do I fix this? And so the power's out. Once I got past the bulb must be out. Once I got to that, I was like,
oh, shit.
oh, man, did I pay my electric? I think so. Would they just shut it off without even calling me? Would they just go like,
that has
fuck
never,
you?
ever in my life occurred to me when I lose service of a utility.
Well, it has, like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's weird, but it's happened to me before where I just like, I'll get to that next week. I usually do, like, auto pay with a lot of these, but then a card lapses and expires, and I don't redo it, and then I haven't checked mail in 3 years, so it's like, I don't...
He's not kidding, everybody. He's not kidding.
Yeah, no, this is all true.
Piles of mail.
Yeah. And so then it's like, what happened here? And it's like, oh, I'm late on a bill. Son of a bitch. And they call and pay it, and they turn it back on. No big deal. It's happened to me. That happened before. And so I was like, oh, man, maybe I didn't pay a bill. Oh, no. And then I just hear outside. And I'm like, oh, thank God. That's a generator. Unless they didn't pay their bill, too. And then it would have been hard to figure out. But I heard generators going, and then... So I went on fucking DTE, and I'm paying for this, because I don't have Wi-Fi. So I'm paying out the ass for this, but I wanted to report it. So at 2:30 in the morning, I'm reporting to DTE, and I go through all their questions. Oh, where are you? And then it's like, so tell us what the problem is. I'm like, the fucking power's out, ... again! Exclamation point. Send.
Just had a brisk rain
I
this
don't
morning,
regret
I think.
it.
That's it.
What
I know. I can't.
I know. So anyway, it came on a few hours later, but it fucks everything else up. Now I got to do all the clocks. Our computers run weird. Like, everything gets screwed up.
Yeah,
so
the
it
studio's
sucks.
jacked.
It sucks.
Hey, Hamlin Pubs, better news, Mike. Hamlin Pubs is inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations.
Very good. The other thing I'm kind of bummed about today, Jay, I got to be honest with you, is I was really confident we were going to have a great interview this week with one Jimmy Norton.
Yeah.
The stand-up comic. And it really looked like that was going to come together. And then he's not doing anything this week. He's not doing any press this week. So I'm really kind of bummed. I was really looking forward to that. He's a great comic. He's coming to, I think we're going to give some tickets away for the show, though.
Nice.
So he'll be at Andiamo's showroom, 14 Mile Road in East 14 Mile Road in Warren this Friday night, the 26th. And
he's huge. Yeah,
Jim's a big deal. Great comic, dynamite comic. Came up with some of the legends in the game, with Louis C.K.'s a good friend of his. He was on Louis' show. Bill Burr's a good friend of his. Patrice was one of his best friends. There's a whole list of guys. And in my opinion, for those that don't know who Jim Norton is, Jim was one of the hosts of, in my opinion, top 5 morning shows ever in morning radio with the Opie and Anthony show out of New York. Dynamite show, and he was the 3rd voice on that.
Became the second.
Yeah, exactly. When Anthony was blown out, now he's doing a show with Sam Roberts, who was one of their producers and stuff. But interesting career. Like as I was preparing, because it looked like this was going to happen this week, so I started to do some prep on him, and I'm remembering back to things like that he's talked about or done. One of the things is, like in my opinion, the hottest porn star of all time is Brie Olson, right? Real tits, just cute, hot. He somehow banged her.
She was one of Chuck Sheen's chicks, right?
I know.
One of the angels or whatever.
She wasn't one of the 2 angels, but she was one in the mix. And so then there was like, AIDS, rumors, and oh my God, is Jim Norton have AIDS? And so Brie Olson, it's like, oh my God, Brie is the one girl like in porn. Like most of those girls, just I think of as skanky. But Brie, it's like, holy shit, that chick's amazing. He somehow banged her. So there's that on his resume. Also on his resume is a 3-way with the Hedgehog.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine? And I think for the story,
with Brie Olson?
No, not with Brie Olson. But he tells a story. I think he was hosting. They have the porn awards every year in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think Jim is a known skank. He's hookers and the whole thing. He's Big E with money, and talent. And so anyway, he's hosting the porn awards. No offense, there. And so he's like, I've got to go up to this room and meet so and so, meeting a friend of mine. And I go and knock on the door, and the door opens, and so in the background, the Hedgehog has a girl bent over, and he's just banging her doggy style. Imagine that scene. It's like, hey bud, how you doing? They're having a conversation like it's just totally normal. And here the hog is in the background, Ron Jeremy. And so Ron's like, hey Jim. He's like, Ron, good to see you. He's like,
would you like to join us?
Would you like to get involved? And Jim's like, I would, yeah.
Very much.
And so he's like, I'll take the upper half of the torso while you're working on the back end. And so Jim says, I'm standing. He's like, dude, what are you going to do? It's the Hedgehog. I got to have the story, you know? Yeah. And I'm right there with him. I'd fuck Roseanne for the story. And so he goes up, and he's like, this chick's blowing me, and Ron is in the back, and Ron's known for his huge dong. I mean, he's grossest man on earth, but he's got this huge dick. And so he says, Ron taught me a valuable lesson that day, and he's sitting there, and Jim's just standing there, just getting blown. And he says, at one point in the 3-way, Ron just fucking pulls like all 10 inches back, and then boom, just blasts this chick while she's blowing Jim. And he's like, dude, she literally could have taken, it's like getting into a car accident while you're getting blown on the freeway. Could have taken his dick off. And so he's like, yeah, I learned 3-way etiquette in that moment. And so that's one of them. And then, which is a great story. It's a great story. And then lastly, somehow, like, Jim is one of these like super fans, has to take pictures with everybody. Which is it's douchey.
It's like you and Pamela Anderson kind of thing. Well, that's what it makes me think of,
Yeah.
Miss
Thanks.
Anderson, can I get a picture with you?
Thanks for that.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing those now. Want it anyways. Anyway, Jim they've made fun of him on the show for years because it was like he's got to get a picture with everybody and all this stuff. And so His favorite all-time person on the planet is Ozzy Osbourne. He's a giant Sabbath fan, Kiss fan, but Ozzy is the thing. And somehow, over the years, through connections and comedy and everything in his career, he somehow got hooked into the Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy world and, like, became friends with Ozzy Osbourne. You imagine that, dude. Think of, like, someone you've worshipped from afar your entire life.
Yeah.
And now you're, like, in that, like, doing dinners at their house and going out with them. And,
Crazy.
And you know, Ozzy's Ozzy. And so Jim, you know, he does a stand-up special. He's got De Niro in it, and he's got Ozzy in it, introing him. I mean, like, these huge names. And so I listened to their show one day, and they've got Ozzy coming in studio. And everyone's like, oh, Jim, big deal. And Jim is like, oh, it's Ozzy's birthday yesterday. I got to get him something. What do you get the guy that's got everything, you know? And he's worried about it. And so he's like, I know Ozzy's this huge Beatles fan. And, you know, so Jimmy runs around the city of New York and, like, scours bookstores for rare Beatles books. Like, here's one on Lennon and here's one on the Beatles. And they're not the everyday books. And, like, really goes out of his way, spends a lot of money on these things and packages this, like, 5-book setup. You know, he's got like 5 books on the Beatles for Ozzy and wraps it all up and he presents Ozzy with his gift and, you know, on the air, and Ozzy's like, he's opening it up. He's, I'm a huge fan of the Beatles. Oh. And so anyway, interview goes on an hour, that he's in studio for an hour or whatever, and thanks, Oz, you know, it's great to see you. Oh, Jim, yeah. And he leaves.
Him there for sure.
He leaves, and then it's like just dead quiet in the studio. And then someone notices, and it's just like, oh man,
Pile of 5 Beatles.
There's
books
the books. Just Ozzy didn't give up.
They meant so much.
Fuck about
so
them.
much.
And then it was just like, oh man, you tried so hard to be friends with this guy. He didn't give a shit. And you can imagine the relentless beating that would take place in that scenario. And Jim's trying to play it off like, it's no big deal. It's just like he's crushed. He's crushed. His idol is just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Fuck your dumb books. So, anyways, I'm disappointed that we're not, you know, going to get to talk to him. There's a lot to talk to him about, but he's a brilliant comic, very, very funny.
And he's in town, as you said, this weekend.
Yeah, the 26th. He'll be in at the Andiamo showroom in Warren. There are some tickets available still if you want to go. 586-268-3200, and I believe this week, I don't want to say anything because I don't have them not in hand or any confirmation yet, but I believe we'll have some tickets to give away, and it's worth it to go see young Jimmy Norton.
Cool. Hey, it's time to celebrate huge savings during the auto show sales event at Zott M59 Chrysler Jeep. With payments this low and Etard's big raise, even he can afford a sweet Jeep. Lease a new loaded 18 Jeep Compass as low as $222 a month. This Compass has it all, including Apple CarPlay, heated leather seats, and heated steering wheel. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
I told you, remember that earlier how I said I didn't have power?
Yes, I do. I recall that.
There's a time when I didn't have running water.
Which was worse, Mike? Power, of course.
You know
right?
what? Power only
You
because
can easily replace the water. Well, not easily, but you can replace it.
But power being out in the middle of the night is different than like when you wake up in the morning, and it's just naturally lit, you know. But as we were saying, it kind of like it shocks the whole system and blows everything up, and then things don't come back on right. And so we've lost a monitor.
Yeah.
The monitor that I show you videos on, you show me videos on. And so I wanted to show you a quick picture of Brie Olson, but I don't know if you can see it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know
Sure
who you're
you've seen her
talking about.
before.
Yeah, I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
you've brought her up at various times during this podcast where you've been,
Have I?
Yeah, fawning over Brie.
Yeah,
Brie
dude,
Olson.
I'd honestly give E's life just for one night with a Brie Olson, you know. But yeah. Anyway, so we were here kind of late last night. We were watching football, and exciting game, early game, but that second game kind of got away from people as the Eagles pounded the Vikings. I can't say I saw that coming. You knew that, didn't you? I could tell when you left here. You were like, "So, do you have an update on the scores?"
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
I didn't know which
paused it.
way.
I looked down here and it was like 31-7. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could tell by the way you asked the question, somebody was getting an ass whooping. I didn't know who. I said that to E, too. I'm like, when you left, I was like, I could tell by his reaction, this is a blowout one way or the other. I just can't figure out which
I said
way.
nothing other than, are you caught up on this game yet?
I know. I've got a remarkable ability to read people
While
and go,
in the bubble.
Why would he ask me that now? Okay, he wants desperately to tell me don't bother, because what you really wanted to say was, you know what? You got other shit you could be working on. Don't bother.
Dude, that's exactly what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah. And I can tell when my brother calls me and goes, so, you caught up on the Lions game? It's like, nah, fuck. I know I don't need to watch this anymore. It's like, I didn't even say anything. It's like, I know, but I can tell you wouldn't be asking me this if there wasn't there's a reason you're asking me this. Basically, you're telling me don't bother watching it.
Yeah, and that's, I guess as I think about it, that makes sense to read into it that way because you're asking someone like, dude, are you caught up? Like, are you there yet?
Do you know what's going on yet? Yeah.
Because if not, you'd just be like, I don't know that you'd use that phrasing. Are you caught up yet?
Well, it's funny because people say that, like, dude, I didn't tell you anything. I would never give the score away, and it's something weird, but you just know, like, no one's going to ask you, like, hey, man, are you caught up in the game yet in a 3-3 game in the third?
Right.
Like, it just doesn't matter. So there's a reason that they know something that you don't yet know, even though you haven't said anything technically.
I'm with you, dude. He's
Yeah.
about to dispute this.
I kind of am because last night I went up. I said, "Hey, the game. It was on your TV." I said, "Is this live or is this recorded?" I didn't know when the game even started, and I had not seen anything or looked at the score. I mean, I just was curious from my own mind.
And that was fine. And I established that. I said, do you know what's going on? You said, I haven't seen a single play yet. I was like, okay. So I said, it's recorded backed up. Don't tell me if you go downstairs and you catch a score. But I knew you hadn't seen anything.
Okay.
But I knew Jay had, like, he's not going to go home and watch a 3-hour game. He just doesn't give a shit. So
True dat.
grabbing a score somewhere is very possible. And so by the way you came up, it was like,
Well, and at the time, though, from what you knew, the Vikings were up 7-0. They were probably the team you thought was going to win that, right?
And I'll be honest with you, I leaned one way. I said, someone's getting an ass whooping right now. My guess is since it's 7-0 Minnesota, maybe Minnesota's trouncing the Eagles. I don't know. And you were at least respectful. Some people fight me on this. You were at least respectful enough to shut it down and walk out the door.
Yep.
My brother doesn't do that. Derek doesn't do that. Other people don't do that. And I'm like, you're giving more away by the way you're fighting me on this. Shut it down and leave. But then once it was like 24 or 21 to 7, I was like, oh.
It's Philly who's blowing them out.
Yeah, Philly's going to run away with this game. Yep. I don't really, you can just fast forward through all this bullshit. Doesn't matter.
Surprising a little bit, huh? With Nick Foles at the helm.
Yeah.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Crushing a team that gave up like 15.8 points a game
I know.
throughout the whole season.
I love when they do those stats. Those stats are so dumb. Aren't they really? Like when you look at this game, it's like, well, that's the first touchdown they've given up in 3 months. It's like, yeah, so? What is it? But by the pass, they're not supposed to ever give up a touchdown again? Like, I don't understand what you're...
It's sort of indicative. Like, it's a good defense, you know?
Yeah.
Right? They've given up 15.8 over 16 games.
Yeah.
Isn't that indicative of a good defense?
He hasn't thrown an interception in 200 passes. Well, he did just there. Pick
I know,
six.
but
Crazy.
you don't buy into a
well,
15.8.
I do, but they always act like that's supposed to tell you exactly what's going to happen. It's like every game is different. Guy gets sacked, fumble, picked up.
Of course, you saw it last night.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think a full season of stats in terms of how many points you've given up, how many points you've scored is a bit indicative of the type of team you are.
I understand that, but it's like, well, we've seen so many guys where it's like, yeah, he's putting up huge quarterback
remember
numbers.
This. Whenever he mentions a stat, we're going to harken back to this. That stats mean nothing.
I'm not saying stats mean nothing, but it doesn't. It's like people are shocked because blah blah blah, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a different game.
It's
a
an
totally
anomaly.
Different...
Anomalies happen, right?
Yeah, and you're playing a different game.
Well, they gotta say something, dude. They're reporting the game, and they're like, what are they supposed to do? I feel like
just sit there.
If you sat there and said they never gave those stats up, I think then we'd be.
No, I know. I like the stats too. I understand. I'm a hypocritical prick. What do you want from me? I'm being pushed back.
That's what I want.
I'm getting pushed back.
I wish you would have turned this into a grievance because I have a grievance today, Mike.
You do?
A formal grievance has found me.
Would you care to air?
Oh, I don't know. You guys have one?
I don't have nothing. Found me. I was in seek mode over the weekend and nothing found me.
It's interesting. 3 grievances knocked on my door this weekend. Found me.
Oh no!
So I'll go with the most timely one. You ready? This is
yeah.
simple. I don't need the full 30 seconds.
Okay.
Christmas lights. Not that they're still up, but that people are still turning them on.
Bonafide.
They're still being turned on, dude. I mean, I'm a lover of the Yuletide, as you know. I love it more than most. But at some point, it becomes offensive. Truly offensive. It's tacky as shit. We're now edging toward Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You're going to confuse the hog.
Yeah.
Hog's going to come up, judge whether there's more winter on the horizon. He's going to go, oh, hell yeah, there's more winter. It's only Christmas.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the hog. Turn off your damn lights.
Okay. All right. Well, I think this warrants a little extra debate because the Yuletide is not only the red, blue, green, white lights that you see.
This warrants no debate. I don't know how you are at
no,
January
hold
22nd
on.
still turning on. And Franklin, I'm talking to you.
Don't
Franklin, I'm
fight
talking
me,
to you.
or I will call you an old man and a pussy.
I rolled
I'm
down
giving you a
Franklin
warrant.
Road last night.
Yeah.
Lights abound.
Yeah.
What are they doing, man? Unplug them. It's simple. Unplug
Okay.
that shit.
Let me start by saying it's bona fide. It's bullshit. I don't put them up, so I'm irritated whenever I see other people's. It's just like, yeah, great. You're enjoying the Yuletide. Good for you. That being said,
I want to be clear too, E, before you render
I already
judgment.
know it. I
I'm
already
not
know the
saying
answer.
they should be down. Like, I have no problem with people
Yeah, if
still
it's
having
cold
their
and you
lights
just
up.
don't wanna
Dude,
get out there
it's a
and-
rarity that at this point people would have them down, I think. I mean, we did have some warmer days and some people hustled and got them down. I am not claiming that. It's fine having them up. Unplug that shit, though. It's
Yeah.
on a timer. Unplug that shit.
Move
on!
At what point in the season do you think it's time to unplug from the wall?
Boy, I think after New Year's, I think
Yes,
you know,
January 1st.
Your Christmas tree has to be down and your lights have to be off.
See, I was having more of an issue. I didn't realize this was a grievance that I had on the tip of my tongue all this time. But when I would go to Beth's, there were a few houses, for whatever reason, they really get into Halloween. They're all Hallows Eve people. And so they're the ones that have and it was funny because the power went out at one point and their generators are off. And so they're giant blow up.
Oh, my God.
The ones that are 2 stories
Yeah.
high, like, they're all like,
That's a whole separate grievance, dude. Like,
But
over decorating
well.
in a tacky way that's just
I'm
like
not-
that doesn't fit the neighborhood.
Well, there's a few of them that do it. There's probably like 3 or 4 houses, like 2 here and then the 2 across the street,
Yeah.
where they really get into putting up faux cobwebs in the trees, and there's a skeleton, and then there's a blow up fucking whatever, and it's like I'm fine with that, but I think with those specialty items, when you've got like, you know, a guy hanging in a tree or a glowing skeleton, like after the 31st, those got to go. Like I'm pulling down her street Thanksgiving.
Oh, dude.
And
Yeah.
it's still like I'm seeing this orange monster all blown up, and I'm like, dude, what are we doing
What
here?
are you are you hanging on to that? You had so much fun over Halloween. I just don't want it to end. What's the psychology here?
If it's
just laziness.
If it's pure laziness, I'm on board. I get it, but just I don't know. I feel like with those, I'm with you on the lights.
it starts to look so ghetto when you've
Yeah.
got that shit still on and those blow up things laying on your lawn. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
responsibility in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Take that shit down.
Do kids have a responsibility after the 2nd or 3rd, maybe, to start popping that stuff? Neighborhood kids.
Maybe. That's an angle.
Can you leave those up all year round? By the way, just the lights.
Yeah, I mean,
Do they? I mean, I'm assuming they wear faster, but
right. Sure, you've definitely seen people do that, right?
Really? Are there?
Yeah,
I've
I
never
remember
paid
having a
attention.
paper out when I was a kid and going up to houses like in June, July, going, "Are you kidding me? Oh my God, they still have their lights hanging."
The only
Yeah,
ones
I mean
I've
that's
noticed.
an old thing that people have complained about for decades.
Yeah. I don't pay much attention to my surroundings. And so I didn't notice that like you would. The only times I ever noticed that was when you know those got really popular for a while. They might still be the icicles.
Yeah.
And the icicles hanging down. It was like, dude, these are hanging 3 feet off a gutter. You can't hide these.
No.
Lights on, lights off. You can't hide those.
Yeah.
And so those got to come down. But dude, if I put lights up ever, they're up for 30 years. They're
It's
just
January
up.
22nd, everybody. Let's unplug this stuff. Again, you don't have to take them off your house yet. It's cold, but unplug it. Move
I think
on.
there was a year. I forgot if I wrote the note or not, but I was driving home late every night. I think I worked late, so every night I'm driving home, and it was in the February, and this guy had his lights up, and I remember thinking So I don't remember if I was going to write the note the next day and then finally they were off, or if I wrote the note and put it in their mailbox. But it was like...
You wrote them a note?
I was going to. I remember considering it. So I'm trying to remember if I did write it out
Can't
in the
remember
end.
if he actually did it or just considered it.
But I definitely considered
Straight
it.
out of Stockton.
No, I remember I was going to do it, and I think that then they finally were like gone the next day or turned off. But it was mid-February,
Dude,
and they were still on.
I rolled by my neighbor's house just 2 days ago, and there was a Christmas tree on in the front. In the front room, I couldn't believe it.
Like,
in the house?
Yeah,
Wow, Christmas tree.
Yes.
It's got to be a fake tree.
of course.
Either
But
way,
still.
dude, is it bad etiquette to go up and like if you just went up and knocked on the door and they answered the door and you just went, "Yo, what's up, dude? What the fuck?" And then they
Just
go, "What?"
Kick him in the pussy.
No, I'm not saying you got to get violent right away. Maybe it comes to that, but we don't know yet. But if you just went, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
And they go, "What?" And you go, and you just point to the tree, or you point to the tree with the lights on in the living room. Like, dude, what are we doing? I mean, is that acceptable behavior from a neighbor?
I think these people are probably thinking like, oh, it's for everybody's enjoyment.
But obviously it's not.
It's
dude, the season has passed. You know, every year there's the discussion of what's better, New Year's Eve, or I mean Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And everybody decides it's Christmas Eve because it's still
the anticipation.
The anticipation. Santa hasn't hopped in his sleigh yet, you know, and it's just like, oh, tomorrow. And then once 10:30 in the morning rolls around, you've ripped open all your boxes. It's like, oh, that's
totally. Just getting ready to go to Grandma's house now. That's all that's left.
That's
gonna get a shitty present over there.
I didn't even get everything I wanted. This stinks. And then you got to be reminded because Dick Face won't turn his Christmas tree off in the window.
I know, mentally you just want to move on, right?
Yeah,
you want to get towards spring.
I
at this
remember
point.
as a kid being, because I was not a big school person. I know, obviously, and
well, you went to 8th grade twice.
It sounds like you were a huge fan of school.
I remember like
doubling up on grades.
If the tree was still up, a rare occasion where my parents would have for some reason not taken it down, and I was still going back to school. It bummed me out so much because all they would remember is that, hey, a week ago I was on vacation doing nothing, and now I'm doing this. I don't know.
Now I got you.
I guess I could do a grievance, I suppose.
All right, Isis.
Sure.
Very good. Here we go.
Why not? I went to the movie theater over the weekend, and I know what you guys are going to think about this, and I don't care. I hate Coca-Cola. And why can't I get the option of Pepsi and Coke? They have the things where you can pick 400 pops, and I don't want Coca-Cola. I want Pepsi. And I think that there should be... I hate the fact that my Coca-Cola purchase...
So, anyway, Jay, are you excited
I hate the
for
fact that my
Super Bowl
Coca-Cola purchase
this year? I mean, Eagles, Patriots. Are you tired of the
I understand
Patriots
how it works,
being in there?
but I don't want Coca-Cola to. I don't want even my thought that I'm buying a choosing Coke over Pepsi, like going to the overall Coke money.
Yeah. I don't like certain websites getting my click, even though I need to read them. You know, I feel you. But do you understand why the movie theater
this
carries
is the dumbest
Coke
grievance.
and
The
not
fact
Pepsi?
that you're even conversing with
I
him
just
right
want to
now.
make sure he understands.
I get it.
No,
but
do you?
I get they have a contract,
There
I'm
you
sure,
go.
and
Well,
blah. Look at it. Look at. I just say, dude. I'm not saying it's even bone up. It's a grievance. So of mine. I like Pepsi, and I'm finding more and more. I hate. All the arenas have fucking Coke. I don't want Coke. I want Pepsi.
Jeez, Jesus.
I hate Coca-Cola, and I like Pepsi so much better.
See his face right now. He's boiling over.
I'm speechless at what to render this because it's not.
It's the biggest pussy grievance ever.
It's not even worthy of pussy or old man.
It's uninformed.
I want to suspend him.
Yeah.
Like I want to have him removed from the studio for the rest of the day. That's what I'm feeling right now. Like it goes so far beyond rendering a judgment. It's like, no, I want him in pain or suspended.
It was so inept.
Can we dock pay?
Pointless.
Are we allowed to dock pay?
He's an independent contractor.
I know,
so.
but that was 3 minutes we'll never get back, and it's so stupid. And it's like if he was actually like fully retarded, I'd still want him suspended for having such a stupid point.
At what point did that grievance find you? Like while you were talking about lights, you're like, yeah, and wow,
yeah,
Coca-Cola.
No,
I still got
knew
that
what your
taste
guys
in my mouth.
I knew what your guys' opinion of it would be, but I still figured I would just do it anyway.
Because it was ill planned.
No, I knew it over the weekend.
Not well
and
thought
it's
out.
been bugging me for the last months. Little Caesar Arena doesn't have Pepsi. The fucking MJR used to have Pepsi. Now they're on Coke. Everybody has fucking Coke, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's the most recognized logo on the planet.
Well, it's Pop sucks.
I believe, I could be wrong about this, I believe 10,000 Cokes are consumed every second of every day.
Oh, my God.
Of every fucking day. Think about that. It might even be more than that.
Well, it's because we're forced to have it.
We're forced.
Yeah, that's it. The product blows, but what are you going to do? That's all they give us, so we have to keep taking this
Exactly.
shit
I think
for the
this
record, I think Pepsi sucks cock.
I think
I
this is
hate
just-
Pepsi.
there is a
The only
conspiracy
Pepsi
here, now
product
that I
worth a
think about
shit
it.
is Mountain Dew. Period. End of story. Mountain Dew can suck my dick.
There's a conspiracy
I mean
theory
Pepsi
going on.
can.
I think that Coca-Cola has some photos of the government or something. I don't know. I don't believe that that many people think it's better than Pepsi.
I'm not even going to render a judgment because this is so
Okay.
stupid.
You're withholding judgment.
I'm withholding.
First.
What are you
This is a
saying?
total pussy.
Yeah, okay.
Total pussy.
I mean, if I had to
Get a
pick
water,
one, it would
dude.
be that. But
Go to the drinking fountain.
I'm at the movie theater. I
With
want
your
popcorn
mom.
and pop.
With your mom. You need a break, right? Hi, Mrs. Fady, by the way.
yeah, good morning.
Go to the drinking fountain.
I don't want water. I want Pepsi and a popcorn.
What'd you see with your mom?
The Post.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Two of our finest actors.
Yeah.
Finest thespians.
Yeah, it was an interesting story, one that I had not been too familiar with.
The Pentagon
so,
Papers. I thought you were a history buff and experty. I didn't think that you would be unfamiliar with the Pentagon Papers.
History. There's a lot of things in history, Jay, and I don't know all of them.
It's quite a lot of history.
I would say here's the thing, though. My history, again, I've said this before.
I thought you were a Nixon expert.
I'm not a Nixon expert.
I'm not a crook.
You know, my mom. I will say this on Nixon's campaign tour. His campaign tour, he actually went to Bad Axe.
Really?
Yes, he went to Bad Axe, and my mom shook his hand.
Did she vote for him?
She would have been in high school, so I'm guessing not. But I don't know. But he did go to Bad Axe.
Did you go to movies with your mom a lot?
She's paying, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing. My mom
She paid, right?
really begs. Well, we had a gift card from Christmas that I got her. So my mom really has been really on my case about trying to do things with her once in a while. And a movie is the best way to do something, but
shut up for a couple hours.
Go and so
I'm with her,
we
but I
can
can
talk,
just sit.
Right, we can talk
What
in
if,
the car
what
a
if
little
E,
bit.
you guys are driving to the theater? She was like, E, I'm dying to see 50 Shades Darker. Dying.
She wouldn't.
I
If
know,
you knew
but
my
just
mom at all,
hypothetically speaking, she's like,
so
don't tell your father.
You gotta
but
say, you gotta
let's
pay.
say
You can't use that as an
would
example.
Would you go see 50 Shades Darker with your mom
I'll see
if
it.
she wanted to see it?
Sure, I guess because
God,
fuck, I
that's
couldn't do that.
fucked
No
up.
way.
No way.
you
No,
have to
really
pick a different
fucked up.
example because honestly, that there's not an example for my mom would never. She is so very prude and very not. Dude, if
Mrs.
there's the
Fady,
most-
challenge.
if-
Next time you guys are going to a movie, tell him you want to see 50 Shades Darker. Find it somewhere in a theater playing and see if he'll go.
It's just like with me, with my dad. You know, the easiest thing for my dad doesn't do a lot of stuff. The easiest thing to do with my dad is a sporting event. The easiest thing to do with my mom is a movie. So,
Gotcha.
And I like movies, and she does too. So.
Well, just to tie this up so I understand fully, you bought her for Christmas
A gift
card
yes.
to this movie. Now,
And then we-
who ended up
Well, we
getting,
used the gift
getting
card.
more value out of that gift card? You, right? Because you got a huge fucking tub of popcorn. You got your huge
Yeah.
Coke that you hated the whole time.
Yeah, but I drank it.
I know.
Right? And she probably just
Yeah.
got her ticket and then went to the drinking fountain, right?
Yeah, I guess. But you know,
It's kind of look.
My
As
mom
much as I
my
want to
mom
rag,
wants
hold on,
time.
E. As much as I want to rag on E for this shit, he's kind of found a brilliant device for giving gifts. He gives gifts that have to be used with him, and so it's like, hey, Dad, I got you tickets to the Bob Seger concert for us to go, and so he keeps doing this where it's like he wants to go see Bob Seger. He loves going to movies,
Yeah.
and
It's true.
and then he gets. When he goes, he gets free food out of the shows. Maybe
Dad
even the
drives him.
T-shirt. His
Did your
dad-
mom drive you?
Well,
Your mom
actually-
drove you,
No,
didn't
no,
she?
no.
Of course she did. She's
no,
not gonna-
You know what? We're
she's gonna hop
actually
in that car.
We actually get in a fight because I don't like to have her drive because I think she's already getting kind of iffy on the driving. If you ask me, is already getting a little frustrated easily. See, dark out. It's like, whoa, someone jumps out in front of her. So I actually prefer to drive.
But
and
she drove.
She insisted this time to drive, and
Can you imagine? Probably got the seat like way up by the steering wheel, one of those.
so. But my point in that case is like that is not a selfishness
Taking
thing.
like
That is
20
like
minutes to park because she's trying to get the closest.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
Trying to jimmy it into this thing. Probably gave up on one spot. Oh, I can't get in there. Oh, darn it. Circles around again.
But he knows when he gets there, it's like you said, he's getting his snow caps and a fucking large popcorn with free refills and a large Coke that I fucking hate for free.
You know what, when I take my
that would
s-
cost him $40.
But when I take my brother or sister, I pay for stuff then. Like they don't. My sister doesn't. Like I'll take my sister to
Well,
a
if I buy
concert, and I don't pay. Like I buy her. Like I took my brother and sister to a Piston game for their Christmas present, and I bought dinner that night.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah,
But
I
the
guess
gift
you're
card
right.
function is interesting with your mom because she's probably not going to use it otherwise.
Right,
So
that's
it's just
the-
like,
it's a
drain
weird-
the card.
Yeah, that's kind of the situation there. You're right. You are right. But hey, Mike, as you get older, Mike, time is more valuable than
Oh, I've
some
heard
material
that,
gift. So.
No, I give you kudos for that, E, because it is kind of brilliant. You want to go to movies, you want to go to concerts and sporting
I know
events.
that you'll wanna
you
go to a
found a
movie.
way to go to all these things, basically.
They're not for free, though.
I
mean,
know,
still
but
don't-
basically with a designated driver and someone who, for the most part, is going to buy all your shit for you. It's great. It's a
Killed two stones with one bird, right?
Exactly.
Sure.
Going back to the Eagles game last night, did you see the fan? You probably have.
Yeah.
The video's going around like crazy, but
The guy booking alongside the subway or the train.
yeah, real or fake? What do you?
Boy, I have a hard time believing it's real because it's just, we know T-Roy, who did the exact same thing, but he was being led with a football.
I
by
led him.
you.
It was a perfect
I mean,
pass,
it was
though. It
beautiful.
really was. Right over the shoulder. I mean,
yeah.
he just...
Cedar Village, boom, right into a light post. Sends him to Sparrow Hospital.
Those are thick light poles.
Yeah, I mean,
there,
he
dude.
did this exact same thing. So absolutely it can happen. Thing is, when I watched this, and I haven't watched it numerous times, but it seemed like he looked up and looked straight ahead moments before just clobbering this thing.
It seems like something that if you were even remotely from the area, like you would know, like every 15 feet is a big cement pillar. Like the thought that you would be in a full-on sprint. What are you trying to do? Catch the train? Hopefully, what is this, like a subway? It looks like a subway type situation. And he's running. Well, you got the video there. People can see this online, even though we can't really see it well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's being filmed from inside the train, and he's running outside, boom, right into a post.
It's a really quick video. Does it look like
I
at
think
the
it's
end?
fake.
I
Man.
think it's fake too, dude. I just don't think. I don't believe it. I don't believe he wouldn't see that. I don't believe he wouldn't.
I think he's trying at the last second to avoid it, and he just can't fully get out of the way, and it catches
Maybe
his shoulder.
he's drunk as shit,
Yeah.
just happy as can be.
Yeah.
Eagles, hell yeah!
They win. We win.
Yeah.
You didn't win shit, sir. Even though you're wearing a Westbrook jersey, you didn't win anything. Are you guys excited for the Super Bowl? We can move on from that. I know it's Brady again.
That's the only reason I am excited because I like
Really?
the Patriots. I don't care about if the other team had won. Who did they play? If
You got this, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville had won, I would not. I really wouldn't have given a shit. To be honest with you.
Yeah, my
Really
thing is
cool.
like when these startup teams get into big spots like that, you kind of never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel like, oh man, Blake Bortles could just completely shit the bed on the big stage.
Yeah, yeah.
But Brady's not going to. So you're going to see a cool performance by Brady at least.
Right. I look at some of these, though, when you've got these dynasties, and let's be honest, I mean, that team has flipped multiple times. It's like running backs, like everybody's gone except Brady and Belichick, and they keep doing it over and over. It really comes...
Finding these little tiny white receivers.
Yeah,
that
and
catch
they-
everything within 10 miles of them.
And they come through and they deliver, and it's no matter how much is going on, you lose Gronkowski in the first half, and it's like, oh man. But he's going to find a way to make that work. But at some point, all dynasties come to an end, and it's like we're on the edge and it could have very easily been Jacksonville last night. Like Blake Bortles played well. I think they did one of those fucking take a knee in the third quarter. We're up by 10. It's like, dude, gas pedal, man. You got to go. Don't try and work out your running game now. Like, they shut your running game down. Deal with it. But at some point, that team, whether it's the who was Brady's first Super Bowl, total underdog in there. I was like, oh no way they can knock off. So, and it's like, yeah, until they do. And so at some point, Brady's shit is going to come to an end. I'm having fun watching it still. As you pointed out last year, this kid's got potential. He's something.
Kid's got some skills.
And I'm just amazed. It's like, is it possible this dude's going to go, play in his 8th Super Bowl and win number 6? Like, really? I didn't think that it was possible to do 4 anymore.
It's not, Mike, because I heard they're wearing their home blues, and the only 2 times they played in their home blues,
the
they've
Giants.
lost, Mike.
Yeah.
They've lost both times, so that decides that.
So they've lost. The stats say it. Why are we even playing a game?
Money on the Eagles.
Why are we even playing the game? The other thing that was going on last night was the SAG-AFTRA Awards.
Yes.
So we were a big fan of that.
The Screen Actors Guild. Love those people.
Dude, I didn't watch any of it. You'll be happy to know. I can read the stories in the morning for the most part now, and basically I know what's going to happen. These guys are going to just go blow each other about how great they are.
Right.
Some of them will bring their work will bring them to tears, which is always fun to see. Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman.
In the Churchill movie.
Yeah, I hear he's great in that as Winston Churchill. He was able to bring himself to tears last night by winning an award for his greatness, and which is cool. It's funny though. I don't know where you stand on this. It's kind of the Pete Rose thing, like, well, can't go in the Hall of Fame, bet on baseball. And it's like, yeah, but his stats are unbelievable. I mean, as far as like, don't we put him in the Hall for being like a great baseball player?
As we discussed earlier, Mike, stats mean nothing.
Right, but I mean stats as like foreshadowing what's going to happen going forward. I mean, like, you've put the numbers up. If that's tainted, if it's like you were throwing games, that's a different story. But by all accounts, he was betting at games as a manager, and so as a player,
Dude was actually swinging the stick.
he was swinging the stick and out there hustling with greenies, whatever. But But he put up those numbers, and it's so Gary Oldman. People were the reason I bring it up and mention Peter Rose is Gary Oldman last night. Once he won this award, it was the first time he'd won, and it brought him to tears. And so Twitter blew up. People going, "Oh, this is bullshit. Fuck him. This guy should have won. Who's black, or this guy who's a kid, whatever. He deserves to win because Gary Oldman is a piece of shit."
Did they see his Churchillian representation on
Doesn't
on
matter.
screen?
Fuck Churchill. I don't care how good he was as Churchill. The thing was, a few years ago, an ex-wife talked in the press about the time she tried to call 911, and he fucking grabbed the phone out of her hand. And apparently
It's a woman beater.
he smashed her face 3 times with the phone receiver.
Oh,
So she says. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But apparently
did
it's
she
like,
have phone marks on her head?
I don't know. You would get
Remember
those, like,
Amber
10
Heard?
Yeah.
With Jonathan Depp?
Yeah. What did she have?
Slammed an iPhone into her face or something? She had like an iPhone mark?
Yeah. The
God.
perfect square,
Yeah.
like square or.
And he claims she did it herself. Which
Yeah.
I suppose is possible, but
Dude, Jonathan, we fucking cut his own finger off and then starts writing like horror on
Yeah.
the wall in blood. Dude.
so dramatic.
Jonathan, what are we doing? So for Gary Oldman, I'm like, okay, maybe he smashed his wife's face 3 times with a phone receiver. I don't know. He disputes that. It hasn't gone to court. Nothing ever came of that.
Yeah.
But so are we?
Just dismiss everything he's done thereafter.
Yeah, like it seems like a weird thing we're doing where it's like, oh, James Franco's a pig. He should never win it. It's like, okay, well, are we judging them on their life? Like everyone's a piece of shit in a lot of ways, but are we judging them on the art that we're supposed to be? Or is it like, no.
We're all sinners, righty? We all
Yeah,
fall short.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah. I've never smashed a girl in the face with a phone.
Yeah, me
yet.
neither.
Yet, knock on wood. But does that should that rule that out? Should people take that into account, or should they look at their work?
He was great in The Fifth Element, Mike.
Was he?
Yeah.
He's a great character actor. He's known as one of those like.
He's really good. I've always liked him.
Have you like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back, I think he was in The Professional with young Natalie Portman. He was good in that. He's done a lot of. You're right, dude. He pops up in characters that's like, that guy's got it.
Yeah, and he does. And
Bram Stoker's Dracula, famously.
yeah, I'm thinking of him as like playing a politician or something. Maybe it was on a TV show or
Maybe.
a movie. I don't know. But when you see him, he always delivers, and people are like, he absolutely killed it as Winston Churchill. You didn't even recognize him in there. He was so strong in this role, and it's like, okay, well, personally, I think that's what we're judging on. Like, if it went to court and he like skipped town and ran away, never went to jail, and then they. That's a different story, I suppose, Roman Polanski. But
I know.
You know what I mean? But it's like this never went anywhere. There's an allegation. People make allegations against exes all the time. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but are we not allowed to just judge the work anymore? Apparently not. That's kind of the road we're going down. But Nicole Kidman won as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank God. She just creeps me out.
Oh,
Ever since
I was going to say.
Ever since that, remember that
Yeah,
weird
the clap where, she claps like the bottom of her palms and her fingers splay out.
But
very
they were
oddly.
like alien long.
Yes,
Remember that?
they
People were
flapped
freaking
in
out.
an odd way. Mm-hmm. Her husband's gross too. Who's she
Keith
married to?
Urban?
Yeah, Keith Urban.
Yeah, it's weird. Anytime you see someone that's like towers over the guy, she's one of those.
Yeah,
One of those,
well,
like
she was Tom Cruise's,
yeah, true.
for a long time.
She must like just wisps of
Little-
men,
little wee man.
guys. Look at that little guy. Anyway, so she wins, and she of course gets up there, and this is an emotional battle for me because, I'm working on this character that is really a difficult, embattled character, and it's hard not to carry it with me. So, also I've got the flu, and I'm like, well then fucking go home, asshole. What do you work until 1 a.m? I don't need to hear about how great this role is you're doing.
Did she win for her HBO series? Like Pretty Little Lies or whatever.
yeah,
it's
I
called?
think so.
With
Yeah,
Reese Witherspoon. The
Reese
Chin.
Witherspoon and Lena Dunham. Is Lena Dunham
Oh,
in
I
that?
don't know.
Another
Maybe.
old woman. But she says lack of sleep and the flu and this tremendously difficult character I was playing till 1 a.m. That's such a weird character. It's hard to put it away. I want to
What a
come here and
champion.
be the character.
I mean, to be there.
Yeah, I mean, so she won her award and then immediately thanked like all old birds in Hollywood because this award and you old bags are proof that women can still work over the age of 40.
I'm a champion. It's crazy, isn't it?
Like, oh, okay, we gotta now that you're over 40, now we're gonna start bringing ageism,
Ageist, man. Yeah.
we're gonna bring ageism into everything. So, I don't know. Let's see. She was thanking Reese Witherspoon and Laura Dern.
Laura Dern, not Lena Dunham.
Yeah, oh, did I say Lena Dunham?
Yeah.
Fuck, Laura Dern. Yeah, that's what I meant. Susan Sarandon and Jessica Lange, those types of.
God, what a cast, huh? Mm-hmm. It's compelling. I want to check that out.
Yeah, sure. The other great moment of that, and I think as a country we needed this, Jay.
A healing moment? Are we healing?
Well, it just takes those special people to make us all go, you know what? We needed that. We needed that, and
we had Oprah just the other day, right?
Exactly.
Brought us a little flavor of that.
Every once in a while, the Morgan Freemans of the world step up, and they just bring back reality, and they set it there for you, and you go, damn it, Morgan, how do we not see that? Plus, what are those black dots all over your face? You know what I mean? Like, are those freckle? What are those?
I think they are.
Yeah.
Didn't Chappelle reference those in his latest stand-up?
I think he did, talking about his dick looking old.
Too much time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language.
Remember when I left that party and you or the guys as a team took advantage of my passed outedness and wrote fag and asshole on my forehead in Sharpie?
Yeah.
And then I was
rings a bell.
Going down the road. It was that moment in European Vacation where Rusty is sitting on the top of the Eiffel Tower and the chicks are flirting with him and he's flirting back. And then they're like, Rusty. They're pointing to his hat with his
Stupid
name on
beret.
it. And he's like, fucking beret. And he chucks it off.
Yes.
It was that moment. I'm going down the road going home, and I don't know that I've got asshole written huge on my forehead. And these two girls are like driving next to me. They won't let me alone. They're giggling and pointing. And I'm just like, yeah, bitch, what up? What up? Let's pull this thing over and
like
get it on.
Brad in Fast Times sitting there in his Captain Hook outfit.
Dude, exactly. And then I just, for whatever reason, just caught a glimpse in the rearview mirror, and it was like, oh, I hate them.
Not only that, but you had dick fags scraped in the hood of your car.
We didn't need to go there. It was irrelevant to this story.
You had a lot going for you that night, Mike.
Apparently, I've bummed a lot of people out to the point that they find that they just need to vandalize me. And so, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but so I just imagine like Grandpa Freeman is like laying down, and one of the kids just went there with a black Sharpie and just did all these dots on his face, and he was just like, whatever. They
look to be more than freckles to me. They're sort of raised, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've seen some close-ups of him in various movies and tried to check those out, figure out what the hell those were.
Yeah, connect them maybe.
And
see what we got going on.
Doesn't it seem to be more than a freckle? It's more of a mole or something.
Yeah, I wish we could get a tighter shot.
I'm no dermatologist, but
yeah,
I'd be concerned.
You'd at least go in and go, Doc, what are we dealing with?
Absolutely.
You would ask questions.
Oh.
But anyway, Morgan had other pressing matters to deal with. Do you have the video of Morgan Freeman, E?
Yeah, Morgan every now and then kicks some knowledge. He definitely, as you say, brings us back to earth a little bit. Gives us all a hug, right?
Yes.
He's the nation's grandfather at this point.
So just, dude, I told you to find that one. Morgan Freeman Lifetime Achievement Award, SAG Awards. I'll wait.
I had dude, you hit me. Fuck you.
So have we gotten through the full, like the worst of the cold season?
You know, Mike, I was looking at the weather today, and I was...
Are we getting down that road
Wait,
where it's like sooner than later, it's just spring?
We'll hear what the Hog says in a couple weeks. If everybody agrees to turn off their goddamn Christmas lights, the Hog won't be confused.
Yeah.
And I think he'll render a short winter, a quick spring.
Are we
we're
using
looking at
one
53
Hog
today?
Because I have we used Punxsutawney Phil for a long time, right? And now it seems like ever since that one hog bit that guy's ear almost off, so we really got in that fight. Remember that? But it's like, wait a minute.
That wasn't Punxsutawney himself, was it?
I don't know. Phil wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Philip would never behave like that. But yeah, I think there are other spots around the country. And it's like, dude, no. What if I don't give a shit if
I think de Blasio got bitten in New York, didn't he?
Did he?
I think that was a New York hog, man.
Was it de Blasio?
I don't think it was.
There was a fat man too who was wearing like a top hat, like a Lincoln hat, and he had the gloves. And it's like, oh, yeah. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You going in to kiss the hog? You fucking weirdo!
It's crazy. Those little rodent teeth.
Yeah, the hog was like, not having it, dude. Don't even think about it. I'll come in here. It was like, oh, he wants to tell me if he saw his shadow. And the hog's like, fuck you, dude. You know if I saw my shadow. It's obvious. I don't need to whisper it in your creepy ear. How about I just bite it off?
Jesus, do you have the video? Oh, I think we've entered a stew.
It's
Get the potatoes and carrots.
When it comes
Oh my
to
lord!
He's in
Did
a
you see
stew.
him? Did you see
He
him
did. He
fling that?
lashed
he
out.
flung.
when it comes to
That was a lashing.
a video, I look at the headline of the story usually.
That's why I write it here, and that's why
But
I
I
come
wouldn't-
downstairs with the
you
story
didn't say-
flipped over. I know because I'm everyone. Forgive me, everybody. It's my fault. I assume I'm not working with a retard all the time.
Sometimes you
I would
forget,
say
you
to
know?
somebody, "Hey, this is not the headline of the story," because that's usually what I
You don't want to go down this road,
Mike,
You don't
in
because
your defense, since he had his greasy plume shaved off, I've been thinking of him as like a normal human being.
yeah, you got to stop doing
I
that.
know.
It's gonna
Gotta
bite you in the
remember,
ass.
things like this remind me. That's good.
Isis, do you ever read what I give you in my notes? I write notes for a reason. They're not just for me. They're for you as well. Like I'll write shit like, pull this video, which reminded me of this video, pull this one as well. And it's like, you won't do that. It's like, well, I just read the headline and pulled the first thing I thought I saw. It's like, dude, work with me here. You know I'm looking for specific shit. I'm not
I
gonna
don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
What were you gonna possibly? Okay, let's
Kidman
hold on.
fighting the flu.
Let's go into E's head. Dude, you gave me this. I looked at the headline and I was gonna pull that. Dude, it's from an award show. There's 50 awards going on. Why would I just give you like the Nicole Kidman one?
How did you resolve Kidman? Is it in the title?
Because the title says Nicole Kidman pushes through the flu while Gary Oldman
Yeah.
breaks down.
And you've been talking about Nicole Kidman.
I know, but did you pull Gary Oldman breaking down? Because that's in the headline too. You didn't, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's why I flipped it to this page and highlighted. This is the video I want. Morgan Freeman's expected speech.
Black eye like a doll's eye.
I don't
This
know, man.
is beyond an honor. I can't do a Morgan Freeman. Can you ever try to do a Morgan Freeman?
No, it's tough.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
It's
He
kind of
goes
that
up and down. Up and down.
Up and down. Who was the character in Shawshank?
Andy.
Well, Andy.
Well, Andy.
Andy showed up this time.
Yeah.
This time. He does something like that. But anyways, I can't do it well. I'm not confident in it. Anyways, do you have Morgan Freeman accepting his award, E?
Yeah.
You do. So why'd you fling the paper at me?
I don't know.
Because he's in a stew, man.
All right, I forgive you.
I don't accept your forgiveness.
Lift it up. There you go.
Is he wearing
now
a
we
hat?
can see you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
You have no idea how long I had to put up with that.
How long I had to put up with that? Where's Andy?
These moments in your life, hey, I'm talking to you.
Oh, come on. Don't condescend the audience.
Yeah.
Hey.
White women in the audience too.
Okay, well, you just stand out for me, that's all.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, Big E. Is that all you got?
Isis found the first 5 seconds of the Morgan Freeman video.
I don't know.
Well done, Isis. Woo! Oh,
I
boy.
assumed that this, when it started playing, I guess I assumed that this would just be the video.
That's creative.
I mean, it does come to my fault that I didn't look it up earlier, but I can't really preview the videos, so.
Get the hell out of here.
You wait.
I can't preview
I
them once we
understand
start.
you're retarded.
Once we've started, I can't preview them, so it's my own fault for not having it ahead of time, obviously.
You can.
Get the fuck out!
But B, that's why I give you the stories well in advance so that you can do all those. And then I check, did you find all these videos? At which point, if you went, you know what, I had one question. Was it Nicole Kidman you wanted? Did you want Gary Oldman? Because both Gary Oldman and Nicole Kidman's, and I would go, oh, great question. I'm glad you brought that up. No, I don't want either of those. I specifically want this moment where this is said. This is the only thing I want from that award show.
Yeah.
That goes for cocksuckers
My bad, dude. I don't know
and
how to- I don't know what
retards.
to
Now
say.
get up off your asses and go.
When's he going to learn not to talk over drops, too?
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Dude,
it's gotten worse over the last month, too.
Isn't that fucking
It's like
just,
he doesn't hear him in his... Yeah, I've been, like, wanting to fucking kill him for a
you
month.
want to kill people when they do
Yeah.
that. Yep. It's like, no, I was still I'm going to talk louder over it.
Yeah, well, sometimes, okay, they start when I'm talking already.
I know, that's the trick.
Yeah,
you got to
and
just
then
shut
you
the fuck
stop.
up. You just go, oh, the drop's playing. Because here's the thing. The drop can never
Stop.
pause and give you
Yeah,
the,
it can't
the
adjust.
lead.
It's gone. Like,
Yeah.
once it presses, boop.
It's basically an inanimate object. And it's going to go until it stops. And there's no stopping that train. And so you have
Now
to,
I got you.
like that. You have to be the pro and immediately, in the blink of an eye, understand it, respect it, and get out of the way.
It's almost as if he's been doing exactly what you just described, thinking that the drop will stop and pause for him. Because over the last month, it's incredible. It's amazing. I've been meaning to
address that. Well, he's already in a stew. If you
there.
bring it up now, he's probably going to fucking go nuts, and he's closest to me. He'll probably swing. So
Swing, as if.
Did you find it, E?
I don't know.
Oh, wait.
I don't know how long. Well, I don't know how long the video that's going to be that you need to see it. So
Jay, you want to just do a quick bing on
Yeah, let me give it a try here.
Morgan Freeman? Here's the words I would give you. Morgan Freeman.
Acceptance speech?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay. I mean, here it is. If you want it.
Oh, you got it right there. Just
Yeah,
immediately found it. Well,
I don't know if you wanted that.
Minute 26.
Yeah, minute 26. I mean, here's another one. We could do this one. This one's right here. And that's ready to go.
Minute 20. Yeah, that's exactly what it was because he gave a really quick speech. Basically,
here's another one. Here's a third one if you needed that.
You can't play. Can you play those? If I plug this in to yours, can we run the audio from you? No, we can't plug that into your computer.
I'm not going to trust it.
Oh, really? Anyway, while he was like, "This is a great honor," blah blah blah. Then he had to take the moment to point out that the statue, right? He said the statue is correct from behind, but from the front, it's gender specific. And which he thought would be offensive to women because it was a male trophy. It had male genitalia.
Is it like a bulge or
It was
something?
sort of a bulge, kind of a
picturing
a
an
Ken doll
Oscar
bulge. Yeah.
The Oscar's sort of like a pseudo-human being, right?
Yeah.
And I can imagine sort of a bulge. Is the SAG similar to that? Just kind of a figure?
Yeah, it's kind of a
Oh, let me bing it here.
yeah. It's like, well, you can find it in no time. So he has to point this out from behind. This works, but from the front, it's gender specific. And people are like, "Oh no, he didn't." What? He is so fucking woke. This son of a bitch is so woke that he just woke me. And then he says, "Maybe I've started something here today. Maybe I've started."
I think you
something."
nailed maybe. Maybe.
You can't announce that you look. I understand you're Morgan Freeman. You're a woke bae, first ballot, but you cannot announce in the process of being woke that maybe I started something here.
That's what drives me nuts about these Lifetime Achievement Awards. These assholes get up and literally think they can say whatever they want, and they do, and people applaud for anything. Anything this guy says is going to get mad applause. And the person who did it right was Oprah just last week, right?
Yeah.
She did a very professional, sleek,
Yeah.
well thought out speech.
But
this guy gets up there
planned.
just, you young lady, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, that young lady. I like the way you said the young lady there.
Maybe. Young lady.
It's like these guys are looking around the room.
Too much time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language. I got that phrase.
That's a good one. It's like they're looking around the room for things that need fixing. Like you know what? Like we're gonna point something out that's wrong, and I'm gonna go on stage and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna trend like a motherfucker because I'm gonna look like the most woke bae on the planet. And it's like, dude, really? Are we doing this now? This is what we're doing. We're gonna point out every statue that has male genitalia.
It is very male, dude, by the way.
Yeah.
But I see your point.
It was funny. I was reading, and sometimes I like Piers Morgan. Sometimes I can't stand Piers Morgan. I understand how he is, but he has about had it with the hashtag Me Too. And so he wrote an article today that's like, if you think hashtag time's up for Hollywood hypocrites like Sanctimonious Scarlet, hashtag Me Too. And so I'll read you some of his article, and it touches on
Scarlett Johansson, right?
Yes. And Scarlett Johansson, it's like, go fuck yourself, lady. Stop it.
She's taking some heat because of the Roman Polanski support.
Well,
correct?
of course. It's just the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy. It's the soapbox nature. It's the look at how great and forward and progressive I am. I'm willing to call out superstars. Meanwhile, you've got this massive amount of baggage that the rest of us are all going, yeah, well, what about that? And it's like...
Yeah, they so publicly call it out like Lena Dunham.
Right.
And then when it hits her producer on her girls' show,
right.
Oh, no, he couldn't have raped somebody. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Scarlett was furious over the weekend. I'm sure some of you saw it. They couldn't wait to put cameras on her. I want my pin back. And so she's going to lecture.
Her time's up pin.
Yes. And she's specifically calling out James Franco.
Jimmy.
And so, he's been accused of misconduct. A lot of them, by 5 women. It's like, hey, it sounds like, he's tried to fuck a 17-year-old legally. Tried to fuck another 17-year-old legally. I don't know if there's been actual like hardcore rape allegations against him. I haven't heard those if there are. But
Used
it sounds
his
like
power position.
Yes, he had young actresses that he was given minor roles to on art projects, but they always included nude scenes and orgies. Whatever. I mean, I don't know how common that is. It seems kind of shitty, but legal as fuck. I mean, you're not going to bring charges for any of this stuff. So she's my mind baffles. How could a person publicly stand by an organization that helps to provide support for victims of sexual assault while privately preying on people who have no power? Franco denies any of this stuff, but Piers goes on saying, but such trifling details cut no ice with Mrs. Johansson as she destroys him in front of a huge crowd of millions and millions more watching around the world. She was convicting him in the court of public opinion, currently very fevered court, all too willing to believe he's a predator. Perhaps he is. I've never met him. I have no idea what kind of guy he is. Similarly, I have no idea if his accusers are credible or not. I don't subscribe to the my truth is automatically the truth subtext of the Me Too campaign. The truth in matters as serious as rape and sex assault should be established by due legal process after all evidence has been considered. Otherwise, what are we, a kangaroo court with trial by Twitter? But Scarlett Johansson thinks otherwise. She's already decided Franco is guilty, and she's outraged about it, which is curious when you consider her very conflicting attitude towards 2 other Hollywood figures. The first, Woody Allen. Johansson has made 3 movies with him. Match Point. That's a decent movie. I like Match Point. Scoop and Vicky Cristina Barcelona. In 2007, she said of the director, I'd sew the hems of his pants if he asked me to. Yet this is a man who we know seduced and later wed his girlfriend Mia Farrow's adoptive young daughter, Soon Yi, and a man who stands accused by Dylan Farrow, his own adoptive daughter with Mia, of sexually abusing her when she was just 7 years old. Do you know what he was doing to her, by the way? One of the things, anyways?
I don't.
He was going into her room, and I believe it was rock while this was going on, but she's 7, and she's in her little, I don't know, her little fucking underoos or whatever, and he would put his mouth over her vagine and do the, like, breathe hot air onto the vagine.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Which I've done to Beth. It's a fine move. Not when she was 7, obviously. It's a fine move.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah. Try it. I'm not, obviously.
Huffing vagine.
It's basically just like breathing hot air through the pantaline into the vagine.
Interesting.
But, Dylan was saying, I was like 7. He would come into my room, rock, and do this.
What'd Beth think about that? She like that?
She's usually like, would you grow up?
Yeah.
It's like swat of the head.
Can imagine.
Backhand of the head. Stop it.
It's right, like when the dog tried to lick your dong. You're like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You poops.
I'll give you 1, 2. But that third, like, get out of there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the state's attorney said he had probable cause to pursue Allen on molestation charges, but would not do so because Mia Farrow was like, look, we don't want to traumatize Dylan more. Let's just let this go. We don't want to drag a kid to court and blah, blah, blah. In 2014, Dylan wrote an open letter to the Times after Allen was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award, or a Lifetime Golden Globe. And you probably remember this. So she was trashing people that are still working with him. This was a few years ago. She says, what if it had been you, Emma Stone, or you, Scarlett Johansson?
Mm-hmm.
Johansson, when asked about Dylan's letter, told The Guardian, and this is where this becomes, prudent to the point of like going after critically someone like James Franco. It's not like this is somebody that's been prosecuted and found guilty of something, and you can then go, I don't support this lifestyle or whatever. I mean, it's all guesswork. I don't know anything about it. It would be ridiculous for me to make any kind of assumption one way or the other. And that's a very fair point. I can agree with that. It's a fair point.
But yet she takes the direct opposite point with Jimmy Franco.
Right, which is what Piers says. Right. Unless it's James Franco, who's neither been prosecuted nor found guilty.
She's just an emotional moron.
Yeah. Well, then.
Oh my God!
Right.
Sweet.
Which is, doing wonders for gender stereotypes. Anyway, at the 2014 Caesar Film Awards in Paris, she was found, going up on stage. Roman Polanski, remember, he's not allowed to come to America, so she's got to be in Paris to see him. And he's up on stage.
Yeah,
and
because
she's
he drugged and molested a 12-year-old or something?
13.
Okay.
Let's
be fair about it.
Come on, man. It was a teen, not preteen. So she's on stage at the same time, arm around him, whispering in his ear, and he's laughing, and this and that. An odd reaction from a woman outraged by powerful men preying on vulnerable women towards a convicted child rapist that fled America. Blah blah blah.
I've never understood the continual lauding of Roman Polanski. What power does he have?
The Pianist. He did The Pianist. Oscar-winning movie, The Pianist.
Is he really a mover and shaker in the present Hollywood?
Well,
but yet people bow down to this guy, and
he was the director of Rosemary's Baby and Chinatown. So he was like a big China. Plus, remember he was
the father of the baby that was carved out by the
father,
Manson.
I don't think you can say father yet.
The father of the unborn child who was born by Manson's crew.
Sharon Tate.
Yeah, carved it out of Tate's body and spread blood all over, obviously. And baby died. She died.
And then he won an Academy Award. They gave him an Academy Award. That's the video that people wanted to point out the hypocrisy, always point to, is when the whole room at the Oscars in 2003 leaped to their feet.
Why is there ovation? Where does this come from?
He's one of them. He's one of them. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
So at the basis of that, there must be some feeling like this is so unfair that Roman has to go live in Paris or Italy, wherever he is. Yeah. Right? There must be that feeling, like this poor man. So there's just this dismissal of his victim.
It was so long ago. People will say stuff like, "Oh, it was 40 years ago, 30
enough.
years ago. Get over it. Time to move on." And that girl did an interview with Larry King, like in 2007 or something. Was like, "Look, I'm married. I've got kids now. I forgive him. I wish they wouldn't pursue charges anymore. Just let it go. It's time to just let this go." And so a lot of people are like, "See, even she's cool with it. So why can't you be?"
Yeah.
It's just this. But Roman Polanski, like for the longest time, all I heard, I didn't know him. I didn't watch Rosemary's Baby. He's before my time. But I would hear it's like, oh yeah, there was accusations of molestation in the 70s, and it's easy to take something like that and go, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. 70s was a different time, and just throw it aside. But dude, there have been 4 credible women who have come out claiming the same thing: underage, raped, fucked these girls when he was in his 40s. He grabbed a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, there are more than just this one.
So I just don't understand, what power does this guy have in present-day Hollywood that makes them continually laud him? It'd be the easy move would just be like, yeah, fuck Roman Polanski. Forget it. I'm not supportive of him in any way. But yet people
he's
still
done
stand
so
up
much
and,
for the arts.
Sure.
It's about the art.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Why are they willing to look past Woody Allen but not X? Why are they willing to look past? Yeah. I don't know, dude. But the Roman Polanski one, when I finally did a little research into that one, that was disturbing as fuck. I mean, here's a 43-year-old guy. He meets a 13-year-old. Her name was Samantha Gailey at the time. She's since been married and changed her name. But he was interested in photographing her for a project, of course. And he asked her to sit for him at the Mulholland Drive. So he goes to Jack Nicholson's house on Mulholland. He's living at the time with Angelica Houston. Imagine this scene. Jack is gone. He's out of town, bird dogging chicks and banging beaver. Yeah. So he's not even around. Angelica's out, and Roman's like photographing this 13-year-old all over the house, this and that. And then, let's hop in the hot tub. Why not? And then, why not some champagne? Champagne for the 13-year-old. How about some Quaaludes for the girl? Drugs her up with Quaaludes, takes her into the bedroom, fucks her, eats her pussy out, fucks her asshole until it bled. She was telling him, can we please stop now, between every incident.
Yeah.
And finally, Angelica Houston comes home and is like, what's going on here? And he's like, yeah. And when asked for a statement to the police, she said, the girl looks sullen, whatever that means. I'm imagining, like, not with it all the way. Mm-hmm. And so Polanski ends up finally driving this little girl home and just going, don't tell anyone. And so it's like, that's the guy you're protecting. Like, it's not like, oh, yeah, he touched my butt when I walked by him and said, ooh, that's nice. Like, no, he fucked a 13-year-old in her asshole till it bled after giving her drugs. And that's the guy you're going to stand up for? Well, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, you're constantly doing like these pro-con analyses as you operate throughout your day. Like,
I know.
Is this worth it? Should I do this? Should I do that? I just don't understand what people are getting out of continuing to support this dude.
Well, it gets blurry because
Other than, as you say, oh, he's an artist and he's one of them.
yeah.
Right?
Well, it gets very
Don't
blurry when
understand
you don't know. It's when it's like, I don't know. He's denying it. You say it happened. It was 30 years ago. But the fact is,
He's a
with
big enough
Polanski,
pussy to run to Paris and stay there for decades.
dude. He ended up pleading guilty to like the lowest charge just to avoid a trial, public trial, and so they gave him 90 days in jail. He served 42, and he gets out, and the judge went, "Are you fucking kidding me? This piece of shit is not walking out of here after 42 days." And sentenced him to serve the remaining 47.
And that's when he ran.
That's when he hopped the flight to fucking London and has never been back since. He would have been just fine if he'd just done another month in jail.
Oh, Roman.
All of this would have been avoided. He ended up apologizing to that girl, by the way, and paid her $500,000. So, you know, I mean, that's pretty guilty. Anyways, we've gone long here. I've gone long rambling here, but let's take a quick break, Jay.
Sure.
Boy, more and more. I imagine we're going to get more and more on this House of Horrors, too. We're kind of getting this drip.
Oh my
stories.
God, the details today.
It's a pretty quick one, but
the Amish kid.
Oh, wait, I don't know if I know about the Amish kid.
Dude, the Amish kid. You know about the Amish kid today. We'll get to it.
Okay, we'll get to it next.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Hey, TDC listeners, this is Kelly from the Hamlin Pubs inviting you to our 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for a great night with that special someone, it's always a great time at our Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and our 2 Shelby Township locations. Hamlin Pub also offers party packages. We are the perfect spot for that rehearsal dinner, graduation, birthdays, or other events. For more information about our locations, including live entertainment calendars, go to hamlinpubs.com. Hope to see you soon, Detroit Cast listeners.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Fuck them. Lots of people are saying that today. Mostly feminists. I think I'm a woman hater now. Hashtag me too.
It's your own fault, Mike.
Yeah, I bring some of it on myself. I'll be honest with you. I don't do a very good job of explaining things real well sometimes. But yeah, I think it's going to be hard, man. You know, we've seen this now for a few events where if you want to prove that you're woke or more woke than most, you have to one-up the last woke person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I started something today. You know,
Maybe.
And he did, you know, so it's like, oh, shit, Morgan, he's black, he's old, and he's talking about gender-specific trophies. I mean, like, dude, that's
got a point, you
that's
know?
a woke bay. I mean, he's there. And so if you're following the chronology, because we're in award season now, Jay, right? And so we had the Oscars.
They're about to announce, right? Oscar nominations, at least?
Yeah, okay, probably. But this always goes, and it's like, oh, yeah, the Golden Globes are a precursor to who's going to win the Oscar and all that kind of stuff. And, I'll give you a heads up who's going to win. So anyway, we had the Globes, and the Globes, it was like, okay, we'll show you how woke we are. We're going to have bitches wearing black dresses, and some of them are going to show up with some victims, okay? And it was like, wow, that is woke. They red carpeted that thing. They went out and proved how woke they were, and it's like, all right, SAG, what do you got?
Yeah.
What do you got, SAG? And so SAG's like, oh, you think you're woke with your fucking dresses, bitches? All right, how about this? We only have female presenters.
Oof. And looking to redesign the damn trophy.
Possibly after Morgan Freeman.
But what should
Maybe.
the trophy be? I mean, should it have like a dick but hair like a woman, or? Yeah,
I don't know, but
like that's the
all
thing.
I'm
Should it
thinking is,
should it just be a female 100% then,
Maybe
or
it should just be an SAG. I don't know.
yeah.
well,
Well,
not a person? I guess. Yeah.
but
Like,
we
what
can
about
all
the
agree.
Oscars?
We can't trust them to represent a perfect person.
Well, for the Oscars, what should the should
Well,
the,
hold on. So we're all in agreement that SAG-AFTRA.
Agreements, yeah. That's what we're in.
We're in agreement that SAG-AFTRA upped the antes last night. They upped the ante on what, and so now I can imagine. You know, obviously the Oscar folk are watching this, and they're probably thinking, you know, all we got to compete with is a handful of black dresses and some victims. We can handle this, but now all female present. Like, what do we do? How do we up the ante now to prove we're more woke than everybody?
Well, they can't do the female presenters because their tradition, right, is to have last year's big winners do the presentation. So,
Yeah.
best actress, best actor, the two best thespians will present to the next two best
Yeah.
thespians.
So what do we do? Like,
I don't
how do
know.
we?
Dude,
I think the solution is
I'm
that
at a loss, Mike. I don't know how you handle this.
no white men or
Probably with a hashtag.
How about this? If a man, God forbid, wins anything,
Oh,
we have
wow,
the whole
Mike.
audience just boo every time he speaks. When he starts his speech, we just boo the whole time, and then we stand and ovate for every woman who wins anything. Would that
fair?
I mean, does that prove how woke we are? Or what if all the men have to wear dresses? Could we make all the men not go
Well,
tuxedo?
now you're making fun of trans. Why is that funny, Mike? That should
It's
be
not
just
funny. Well, yeah, shit. I
Why
know.
would that be?
It's eating itself. Yeah,
why
I
is
know.
it- right? Yeah.
This is tough.
Well, why should men even be allowed to win? I think that I wouldn't even let. If you're white, a white male, you definitely can't win. I guess a white female.
male character in a drama, Meryl Streep.
Hashtag Oscars so male.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I guess a female white lady could win an award because she's female, but she is white.
She
so
is
that's
white,
tricky.
which sucks. Did she ever have a dykey experience in college or something she can lean on?
Yeah, that's tricky.
I don't know. I'm just saying, look for it. Oscars is coming. They
Yeah.
got away with some shit with the whole Oscars so white hashtag. That was nice. That proved they were woke. But they're trying to compete with an all-female stage.
Who's hosting this year? Do you know? Jesus will find it in
Please say
no
it's
time.
not a fucking white man. God damn it.
Cannot
that
be.
would be unfortunate.
If it's a goddamn devil, so help me if one of them devils is up on that stage.
Who do we
Jimmy
got?
Kimmel, is that true?
Oh, that can't be.
Dude, Kimmel they love Kimmel.
Yeah, all they do is they take their, whatever network it's on, they take their late night host.
His child's health insurance thing, dude, he's the darling.
Jimmy
of the
Kimmel,
left.
by the way, to me, I'm not going to say he's sold out, but man,
But he's
dude,
sold out.
He's consulting with Schumer on health issues.
I know.
Dude, but it's like when he just doing the man show. I mean, you know, shouldn't I mean, if he's going to host this, shouldn't
The
that come
man
back?
show.
Look
That's
at look at where
hilarious.
Corolla went and where he went. You know what I mean?
Dude, this one is really hard for me because honestly, there are a handful of people that came into the Drew and Mike show over the years when I go, that was fucking awesome. Believe it or not, Meatloaf is one of them. Meatloaf.
Mr. Loaf?
Mr. Loaf came in and killed it. Bob Seger was like, that dude is just down to earth, fucking real. He was nice to interns and you know, the guys that are running this place. Like, there are certain people that come in and you're just like, that's just a good dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel was one of those guys. Jimmy Kimmel came in, and honestly, he was cool to everybody. He was great on the air.
Wasn't he about to do a show at the Gem during the Super Bowl?
Exactly. Yeah, he was here for Super Bowl 50, was that, or 40?
Yeah.
Whatever
40.
it was. In
XL.
Shit,
40.
that was
XL.
12 years ago?
Yeah.
My God, man.
I
It was
know,
a great
2006.
week, man. It
was 2006.
Yeah. I was in the gem recently, and they've got pictures of like all of like framed photos on the walls of him hosting that thing, and I remember hanging out like at the Gem. We went to that show and hanging out at the Gem with his band. His band was the coolest shit in the world, and then doing shots all night with what's her name? Who's that smoking hot chick that was his main guest that night? She married Cash.
What?
Cash? Shit. You'd know it if I said it. She's got like a fashion or like a beauty line for women now. She's whatever. It doesn't matter. But I got
No, you're narrowing
shit-faced.
it down.
I got shit-faced with
Super
her
hot
dad.
beauty
Jessica
line.
Alba?
Jessica Alba.
How did you get that, Isis?
I don't even know who Cash is, but
Oh,
he said he
you
was
binged
married to
Cash.
Cash. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the whole night I was sitting at this bar just doing shots with Jessica Alba's dad and her soon-to-be husband Cash, and it was a great night. And Kimmel had come in the day before and crushed it on her show, and then all this horse shit that he's doing now, and it's like, dude, I get it. You know,
his
he
kid
made
is
some
directly
good,
affected.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So it's very emotional.
But there has been, we've seen it. Like, what's his name? Who does the CBS Late Show? Stephen Colbert. Colbert came out and was just doing his thing, and his show wasn't that good. And then it was like, oh, I learned really quick. If I just trash Trump every night, and now he's the #1 show host. And so other guys are trying to adapt to this new world. And so it's like, you can see like a line in the sand almost with Kimmel, where it was like all of a sudden he just went, oh yeah, I'm on this team now.
Yep.
And he's, you know, skyrockets and all these viral videos about how woke he is with, you know, child blah 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 whatever. And I think he's genuine on a lot of it.
Well,
but
he sounds genuine, and he's in a very unique position, having gone through a traumatic experience with his kid, and being able to go, look, if I wasn't who I am, my kid wouldn't be able to get the coverage, etc. Whether that's true or not, I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into that.
Dude, do you really think that if there's a baby that's born, maybe it costs you a fortune, but there's not a baby that's born that they go, well, shit, if you were Jimmy Kimmel, we'd fix your kid. But
chuck
it's
it
not.
in the garbage.
Fill in the
Garbage!
no, it doesn't work like that. But
They have a whole dumpster full of them. Mike,
yeah,
let's be honest.
but that was kind of the way that story was played out. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was Jimmy Kimmel,
yeah,
and
and
had the access,
you got a
my
dude
child
who's
would have
willing to
died.
cry. You know what I mean? I mean, that goes a long way. So,
lastly, we can wrap up on this, Jay. I knew the hashtag Me Too movement was going along, and some people, you know, new people jump into the pile, into the fray all the time.
it's going well to quite well, wouldn't you say, Mike?
I would agree with that. I would. Well to quite well is a good way to put it.
Actually, it's not. I think a lot of people are getting tired of it.
Well, heads up, because you know who just jumped into the fray yesterday, over the weekend?
We don't have a principal announcement, do we?
No.
Thank God.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Master Yoda?
Master Yoda.
Master Yoda was sexually harassed and or assaulted? Are you kidding me?
If I said sexually assaulted at one point in her life, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Fuck no.
Okay. She's
like asexual. Like, really? You know, she's the Supreme Court justice, wears a little doily. She's old as shit, and I get it, you know, but even rewind 56 years and
96 years, whatever. She's jumped into the Me Too movement, and it's like, you know, it begs the question, well, did you? And I'm like, oh, please. Please say something, you know. And so she said, it's about time people called out sexual harassment. She's 84 now, Supreme Court justice. If you don't know who we're talking about, her best friend. It was like the Odd Couple. Her and
Scalia.
Yeah, Justice
Besties.
Anton and Scalia, who are like super right, super left, but their best friends are riding elephants together in Egypt or wherever, you know.
It's like when a dog befriends a cat.
Yeah, and it's like, that's weird. You guys are supposed to hate each other.
Milo and Otis.
Yep. Tom and Jerry are friends? What?
Thomas and Gerald?
What? But they were. And so so she was at a Sundance Film Festival thing and said, you know, now the law is on the side of women or men.
Hold on. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is at the Sundance Film Festival?
She told an audience at the Sundance Film Festival for a long time, you know, bitches were silent on this issue. And now the law and people are listening, and it's great, blah, blah, blah.
She claimed harassment or assault. Which one?
So NPR's, and I hate this when it's like, okay, where's the follow-up? we have to follow up with this and dig more. And then people are like, what's your favorite drink? And it's like, fuck, what are you doing? But no, NPR's Tina Totenberg understood the moment and properly said, well, have you ever been sexually harassed? Excellent follow-up question.
How do you get that past your lips?
I know.
You're sitting there looking at Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Who's got a worse back arch than me.
It's literally Master Yoda. Picture him with his little cane,
Yeah. And so...
Sexually harassed I have.
The answer is yes, Ginsburg said. And I love this
Yes, the answer is.
And Jay, you're going to want to use this, okay? Just try to credit Ruth going forward,
Okay.
all right?
I won't discount it.
But you're going to want to use part of this sentence. I'll see if you can figure it out. Every woman of my vintage knows what sexual harassment is. Of my vintage. It's genius.
I've heard that before.
You have?
Yeah.
Don't discount Ruth.
It's kind of a judgy thing to say. But
every woman of my vintage. Oh, I love, like she's a fine wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Knows what sex harassment is, although we didn't have a name for it. The attitude was simply, get past it. Boys will be boys. I was like, yes, those the good old days.
Who smacked her ass? Who?
This is going to be disturbing to a lot of you. I warn you in advance. But what Ruth Bader Ginsburg went through, it's a shame because this professor at Cornell is probably long deceased. I'd like to yank him out of his grave and strangle him to death for what he did to poor Ruth. So, as a student, she goes to this professor at Cornell, chemistry prof, because she was realizing the paper that she was nervous about this upcoming exam. All right, so she's like, "Fuck," and you know where this. I'm immediately thinking, "Oh God, tell me she didn't blow this guy in the chem lab, please, Ruth." So anyway, she's worried about this upcoming exam, and the professor offers to give her a practice test, which she took before sitting down the next day to do the actual exam and realizing the papers were exactly the same.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, Bader Ginsburg.
She knew what that meant. She knew what that meant. I knew exactly what he wanted in return. How did you deal with this, Ruth? I went to his office and I said, "How dare you? How dare you? How dare you do this?" And that was the end of it.
Gross.
Hashtag me too.
That is just
poor Bader Ginsburg, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, we've all got a story.
Oh, Bader Ginsburg trying to shoehorn her stupid chem story into Me Too. You know, if you're talking Beaker, you're talking Bunsen burner, then we got something here, right?
Yeah. He made me sit at a Bunsen burner and turned it on.
Exactly. That's where I thought you were going.
I knew exactly what that meant. He basically like helped her out with a test, and then, you know, she just immediately waddled up to him and, "How dare you?" And that was the end of it. But it's like, was she thinking all these years that I was harassed sexually? She knew what it meant, like trying to be part of the team. Hashtag me too. Anyway, hundreds of women were gathered at Sundance, braving snow and freezing temperatures to hear speeches from Gloria Allred and Jane Fonda.
Nice. Oh, sounds compelling group.
Allred told the crowd, and I quote, "We demand the right to be free of sexual assault, rape, and abuse." It's like, you know.
You hope they aren't free of that, Allred, because your business would dry up.
That's a great point. That's such a dumb statement. Like, it's like me going on a podium, too, and going, "We demand the right to never be murdered again." It's like, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, we all demand not to be raped. Like, crimes happen. It is. It's illegal. Rape is illegal, right? In all 50 states? Most
all 50,
states.
yeah.
Most states,
and
for
territories.
Sure. I will go on record and say,
Guam, even, Mike.
As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong. Most states, it's illegal to rape.
From what I know about the Guamanese, they even outlaw it.
No, I think rape is acceptable with the Guamanese.
It's an overstatement. Sorry.
We demand the right to afford legal, safe, and free abortions. We demand the right to get contraceptives while men are getting Viagra. Well, men are paying $30 a pill for Viagra.
You'd know. Whoa. Burn.
Street value. Burn. It's not like they're giving men free dick pills and then going, women, you pay for yours. Like,
hey, whatever happened to that female Viagra? Right?
Yeah.
Remember, that was like all the rage.
It was only going to be bought by men who tried to slip it into the women's drinks. I mean, that's all.
Called
That's
a roofie, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it? Just
HGH.
make the bean taut? I mean, what's it?
I think it tautens up the bean. Yeah.
Tightens her up.
Tautens.
Yeah.
Tautens it up, yeah.
Old
It gets it
jumping
on
bean.
point. Fing! Fing! It just stands at a salute. Fing! As soon as you take it.
Upright out of the canoe.
Yes. Just pops up and it's ready to go. Where is it? Where is it? Bring it here. I don't
Before you go on, the auto show's here. That can only mean one thing, Mike. Insane deals from your friends at Zott Ford and Holly. SUVs are the flavor of the month. Lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $144 a month, or lease a new 18 Ford Edge as low as $188 a month. We'd say it again, but I'd get pissed about it. So hit rewind or go to dealsinthed.com to see these deals and many, many more.
I've rambled long. I'll take blame for that. But I do have some extra stories. Maybe we can pop in and do a little extra content if you guys have a few
I
minutes.
like that idea, Mike.
Maybe go say hi to our members.
Our favorite listeners.
Yeah, but do we have time? Maybe do like one email?
You know, he mentioned the members area. Why don't you tell the people how they can become a member?
It's very simple, Jay. You just go to the DetroitCast.com. There's a tab on the top that says interact, or is it help the show?
No,
help
it
the show.
It says members area.
Oh, does it? Okay, well, members area. Then you can pick one of the several members options depending on how much you're willing to help out the show.
There you go, E. And it gets you fun behind the scenes, videos,
Video,
audio,
and
etc.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
maybe we've started something today.
Maybe.
Andy? That was the last time I saw Andy.
I think you're getting there, man.
I'm trying.
I've never seen that movie, by the way, and I finally just started watching it, like, yesterday.
It's one that everybody should see.
I know. I've
Shawshank?
always heard so
Yeah.
much
Oh, it's
about
awesome.
it. I've always heard
I
people
told
talking
you, dude,
about
I was disappointed. I was showing my boys a few months ago.
Too slow?
It was too slow. They both fell asleep, or one or
Yeah.
both. I don't know. And they commented they didn't have any comment afterwards. I expected like, oh, dude, that was awesome, like this and that.
Yeah.
Just
It's a
too slow
great
for 'em.
movie. Was that Spielberg? Or something?
No.
Who did Shawshank? I thought there was some weird,
I don't know.
like Spielberg
Oh,
connection or something to Shawshank.
I'd be surprised if that were the case. I don't.
Look up who did
believe
Shawshank
it was.
Redemption.
Hey, while you do that, while you have the Bing machine running, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. 5 locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers. Most are brewed right here in Michigan. Great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. Half off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Go to hamlinpubs.com for more info.
Are you thinking that because it was a story by Stephen King, or directed? It wasn't directed by
Who did it?
directed by Frank Darabont. I don't know who that is.
Nobody.
Zero loser.
Yeah, you probably are thinking the Stephen King.
No,
wrinkle.
it's not that. It was from that.
No, it's not that.
No,
Produced by Nicky Marvin.
it's the Nicky Marvin. That's
That
what it
it?
is. It's Nicky Marvin. No,
Distributed by Columbia Pictures.
it's
That's
Columbia and
what- yeah,
Nicky
it's-
Marvin. Yeah,
it's Nick-
that's where it was.
Music by Tom-
Who was best boy? Might be the best boy.
was the
Music by
grip?
Thomas Newman.
Yeah, what do we got for grips? E?
But
You know what it was? I watched that Spielberg HBO documentary they did on him.
The documentary, right? I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah. And there was something in there, like he did some out of the way movie. I think it was on the Holocaust, and I might be confusing it with that. Like this really deep movie that people would go, "Holy shit!" Spielberg did that.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Yeah, I was confusing it with Schindler's List.
Some out of the way movie.
No, it was a huge movie. I'm saying like you wouldn't expect him to be doing. That's what I was being confused by.
Oh,
That Spielberg was doing E.T., not Schindler's List.
yeah, I guess.
But he
I
did Schindler's List,
disagree
and I was
with you in that regard. I think
I was-
it was well publicized at the time that this was Stephen King's opus, or Steven Spielberg's opus.
right. No, I was confusing Schindler's List with the other. So
Nah,
whatever.
gotcha.
Shawshank Redemption.
Hey, email
Two
us.
dynamite movies.
Email us at DetroitCast.com. And I'll just read one right now. Alan writes in, after listening to poem number 979, I'm sorry, I just have to ask, why do you always go to Eric for the sexual deviant questions and not Mike? I've wondered this before, but after listening to Mike go on at about the 1 hour, 5 minute mark, I felt compelled to write in. And I took the time to go back to that 1 hour, 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it was you explaining the toilet seat and head porno thing.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
And you acknowledged actually watching that and enjoying that. And I think
Oh, the
said
gag,
7
yeah.
to 9 minutes on that.
Yeah,
typically.
where you put so much pressure on the back of her head and don't let it come up for air, and you basically want to like almost choke them to death.
Yeah, we got
where they're
it.
just going.
But you know what? Alan's point's a good one, man. Why?
And it's just tears and snot.
He
and
really has
mascara
shown-
streaming down the face.
He's
And
proven
her,
over the years.
Every time she, it's like, please let me up for air, and it's like, choke on it,
fucking gag on it. To the extent E is able to have sex, it's usually pretty standard.
Yeah.
As most people would
Fair
say.
enough.
But yet you're the one who's gone back many times to this well of the toilet seat.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
Alan,
people
it's
ask
a good
about it all
point.
the
It's a
time.
good point. Next time we have a sexual deviant story, question, whatever, we'll go to Mike on that.
There you go.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow,
It's
Mike.
boring to me because I'm going to go, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Gag on it.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us today. Always appreciate that. We have an exciting interview coming up this week that I can't mention because I don't want to jinx it. No one wants to be jinxed. But some cool things coming up. Not to mention our 1,000th episode coming up. Coming
Hashtag
up.
TDC 1000.
Well, hashtag TDC 1000. What?
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 Hey, everybody, use hashtag TDC 1000. Tell us your favorite TDC moments, memories, whatever.
Yeah, go back because we forget everything. I don't remember anything we did less than, if it's more than a week ago, I don't even remember we did it.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we would. So start tweeting, Facebooking, whatever. With that, we'll call it a day. Thanks, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.